path one energy. It's then
sorry, all these
I need to
songs
listen
are
to that.
coming to
I need to
me.
listen to that because we were talking about Nordic music and stuff, and other lives on different planets and Lyra and yeah.
Oh man, I would love to do more topics on stuff like
yes,
that.
I'm down with the get down.
Or like how we met our guys, like your meditation
yes.
that you shared would be such a fun story for both of us, because thank you, by the way, for sharing that meditation with me.
Thank you, TikTok, for referring it and for like bringing it to my attention.
TikTok's
like,
good for some things.
yes, TikTok is so multifaceted. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Number one is the number of the masculine, outwardly active and born with drive that makes us follow this torch of determination and make visible improvements in the world. Okay, so your life goal is leadership, organization, and delegating. The caffeine is, I'm like getting my second win. Embrace and open up to spirituality and intuition. Be on the front line of change. Homie, you could do it. Your life lesson. Balancing relationships and work life. Ooh, yeah. Do that. Relinquish control and perfectionism. Flexibility. We were just talking about that. I'm like, I'm flexible. We don't got to be all rigid with our planning, because today, like, we want to talk about how the time got away from us. Like, sandwiches.
I've been saying the word sandwiches a lot the last couple of days because I'm not a runner, but I've been just getting this urge, like, I need to exercise. And like, I started running again and it's really good for me. And then the other day I was like, you know what? I don't feel like running. And Alex was like, hey, there's a Chiba Hut, which is a sandwich place from California we really liked here in Phoenix. And I was like, what? I want one. He's like, I'll buy you one. I was like, yeah, thank you. And he's like, as long as you run for the rest of the week. And I was like, like, okay, like, so I've been running the last couple of days. And the only way I could stay motivated is to think of sandwiches and to be like, it's for this sandwich. Like,
yes. Oh my goodness.
It was so amazing.
Do you have any Taurus in your chart?
It's in I'm trying to think what house it's in. I think it's split between my second, third house. Let me pull my chart up.
Yeah, because I know Taurus is like, whenever I hear somebody talking about food, they're like, I'm sorry, I have like Taurus in my in my chart, so like I love food, this and that, so I just think that's funny. That's like
like, I know we all have Taurus in our chart, but I just don't remember which house it is and if I have any planets influencing those decision-making areas. Let me grab, I have it right here.
Real quick, I'm gonna finish up
it's split between my second and third house.
Okay.
So my second house has like Saturn and Mercury would be closer to the Taurus, but not quite. Those are in areas.
Interesting. I need to print mine out.
Food helps my creativity.
Oh my goodness. That's why the sandwiches are very important for Brie.
Oh, but it's crazy because we had this meditation experience though. Do you want to talk about it? Like, or do you want to make a separate?
I'd be down. I just want to finish real quick the number one, and then we'll be completely free to trail off into other.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are a one, your life goal is I read the life goal. I was kind of rapping about it. Your life lesson is balancing relationships and work life, relinquish control and perfectionism, flexibility, trust, and honor above pride, power, and cynicism. Your spiritual abilities once possess a strong intuition and a way of tuning, almost like covering the word, tuning into others, sensing another person's core and possibilities. People with a one. What stone is that again? Is that
yes.
Is it the one that I said I want to get? Does it start with the A?
I'm sending it telepathically.
My caffeine might be blocking
Leia,
it.
help her. Leia.
I was about to say Adrenical.
It's an Andara.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna stop you there.
I was like, I know that's not a stone. That's a whole different thing.
I love Andaras. It makes everything feel like liquid to me. Like
Yeah, it looks like liquid in like a solidified form.
it's liquid. It is solid liquid. It's lava glass.
Ooh.
Yeah, it comes from like Mount Shasta area.
What chakra do you think that helps out with?
Oh, definitely with the orange, the sacral. But at the same time, this is connected to like my star seed.
Yeah, it's like
lineage.
crown and sacral.
Yeah, like it's special. I don't know why it's connected with my ancestors, but I just know it is.
Yeah, I need to get one because I have a feeling you're on to something with me and you being sisters in a past life.
I feel it in a couple. Like
Yeah, and just on
at
different
least
planets.
2 of them, I feel it.
Yes. I'm gonna run real quick and take a bathroom break because I've been gulping this coffee, but I will be right back. If you want to take the floor and talk about whatever you want, I'll come back and I'll just play off of that and we'll go from there.
I'm trying to think. I got put on the spot.
Oh no, it's okay. Talk about like how you've been feeling about the shadow period of retrograde, and I'll be right back and I'll feed into that. There's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and take the floor. So retrograde was crazy. And I just wanted to ask you guys how you felt about 2020, the first Mercury retrograde, because I don't know about you, but I haven't experienced a retrograde that has been as intense. I've had retrogrades in the past where I knew to just step back and observe and not act. And yet I found myself during this retrograde being influenced by the energies around me and still acting through them. A lot of the times during a Mercury retrograde, which is when Mercury appears to be moving backwards in the sky, which it takes the energy of Mercury, and instead of it playing out into the big environment around you, it flips it internally. And so that mercurial energy is creating a storyline between your spirit and your ego, not quite to share with the rest of the world. It's something that you need to keep private, or it's crazy. So yeah, for me, I don't know if it's the energy of the earth getting stronger or the fact that my abilities have been opening up more, but I felt just enthralled in a character this Mercury retrograde. And hi. I was talking about how this retrograde just hit harder than usual, and I was more stuck in a character, and how retrograde, instead of taking that energy internally like usual and just kind of observing, I was trying to still be an active player and changing things when maybe I shouldn't, or maybe it was supposed to happen that way. And it just felt more of a tower moment than I've experienced before.
Yeah. Fighting like against like things changing because like new waters can be a little daunting sometimes, or just feeling like uncertainty. I know that's how I've been feeling a little bit of just like, it's like pick a side, pick an action, pick something that you want to like pursue and go towards it. And it's like sometimes, at least for me, I know I definitely want you to continue on your train of thought, but for me, I just had a moment of like, I had a just moment of having to cry, like just let it out. Like I was like, I think I might have been listening to the Beyonce album, or like the Gift album.
The Gift, when I sent it to you.
Bigger, like that song, and Find Your Way Back. It's like the tears we cry let us know that we're alive. And it's like,
yeah, every time.
Yes. And I was telling you, like, even like earlier today, I don't want to feel heavy. We don't have to feel heavy. We can feel light. We can identify what we're holding on to that is dead weight. And like a lot of dead weight was getting released during the end mainly of retrograde, and it kind of carried over in the shadow period of me realizing what I was still holding on to subconsciously. And then I did a meditation today, and it helps you clear out like anything that's still holding you down. And our ego so badly wants to resist and hold on to the things that it can identify itself with, because it's been there and it's like ingrained in us almost. Yeah. But then you have to listen to your soul, listen to your spirit, and it's like, does your spirit feel light or does it feel heavy? Because it shouldn't ever feel heavy if you're like aware of what you're holding onto. And if you're holding on to anything that was from the past and it's something that hurt you, it's like you got to do your future self a favor and like let it go.
Speaking directly to my spirit.
Yes, it's not easy though. It takes a lot of self-awareness and yeah.
And that what can come with if you don't change. Like, consider that if you just stay in one place the rest of your life, our spirit can sense the future, even though it doesn't know exactly what's going to happen. Like, emotionally, you can feel where you're heading. Like, if I stay, is it just going to be like wondering what could have happened if I would have made a decision way back when, a long time ago? Or do you just jump into the unknown and you just experience life?
It's like
wants to be experienced.
I feel like the first step to like having a shift take place on a spiritual journey is you need to want it. You need to actively ask for it and look for it and make peace with the fact that things are going to change after you ask for this, because God and your higher self and your guides and your angels, whatever you may have a relationship with, they want to see you win. They want to see you happy. And a lot of the times we forget what we're put here to do. Everyone has a different purpose, but at the end of the day, if you're not spreading love and feeling that for yourself, you can't give it to others without feeling drained.
And you can't receive it from others either.
Yeah. You have to make peace with the fact that shadow work takes a lifetime, but it's like once you start implementing and thinking and analyzing, not too much, you don't want to get into a thought loop, but just realizing what you're like, why do I feel tension, or why do I feel triggered by this person? Do I need to take a break from this person? Do I need to like take a break from certain social media? I just deleted Twitter today because I look on my timeline and I'm just like, I'm just reading a bunch of projections. That is the app to project.
All social media.
Yeah.
For the most part.
There's like a certain toxicity that can take place on there. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think it is about Twitter that makes it more of a projection thing?
I feel like there's a certain anonymity to that app that you don't get on other apps.
What's that word mean?
It's like
animation.
Like you can remain like anonymous to an extent. Like you can be like behind a screen, and YouTube is also like there's a lot of projection on there as well, because people can simply just throw out things that trigger their egos very easily, or trigger things that they don't like about themselves. And even on Twitter, like there's a lot of like spiritual accounts I follow, but there's still like a weird heaviness to that app. And I personally just need to take breaks a lot, and I'm not honest with myself sometimes when I need to take breaks. So I'm like, oh, I should be able to handle this, but it's like, no, like you should be able to pull away when you feel called to pull away from anything that makes you feel heavy, because it's not yours. Like it's important to know what's yours.
And it was created to grab onto your field and like keep your attention there. We talked about this in our social media podcast, and there's a part that I want to kind of edit out because I'm no longer with my partner, and I did call him my boyfriend in there. So I do want to go back and edit a little bit, but I'm going to repost it because we had some good points about social media and how social media has so many good aspects about it, and it's helpful and it's connected people. At the same time, it's created to keep your attention in one place. We've had psychologists build these applications to keep you scrolling. It emulates like a slot machine, and the chances of like, what am I going to see next? What am I going to see next? TikTok especially, like it's endless. at least with Instagram, they're like, oh, you're all caught up. Literally, I log on Instagram, I look at one post, I scroll, and it doesn't go any further. Like, I don't follow that many people.
Good.
But it also made me think, like, going back to how you got into talking about social media too, and before that, with certain people and giving them space, giving space between what you what may be triggering, just to find out where that trigger was. And it's funny, and I'm so glad that we did this, but Summer and I have gone through a period of time where we weren't friends. We have been friends for five years now, almost.
Yeah,
6?
in April we'll round it 5 years.
5 years. Okay, so in April it'll be 5 years, and it's been a beautiful 5 years and the way we met. But in between there, we both have dealt with our own shadow work and our own egos and wanting to be right and wanting certain things out of each other that were wrong. And there was an attachment, and we were bringing out parts of each other that needed healing, which was good. But there was a period where we needed to really step back from each other. So we didn't talk for a whole year. A whole year. And we're like, we're closer than ever now.
Yeah, which is funny because you don't even live in San Diego anymore, but we're just like connected on a different wavelength. And
yeah,
it's our sister roots. It won't let us like stay apart.
It won't. If relationships are meant to be, they'll come back together. There's a way. And I got goosebumps saying that, like, no matter who it is, and even if it's not the exact same person, if it's meant to be, the energy will come back around through somebody else. It's really weird.
Yeah, I was telling Brie like before, like, if I'm not learning from you, then why are you
having fun or like laughing, enjoying? Like, even if you go through pain together, but like for the most part, if you're not learning through that pain and it's just abuse, what the freak? Why?
Like constantly triggering each other, but not like respecting the fact that like you shouldn't do that again, or like trying to learn from it, or like learn the person's boundaries, learn the person's love language, and like love them in the way that their love language is, not what yours is what I'm learning too. Like,
oh, love languages are strange. Like, I do agree with them, but I don't, because mine, like, I love in so many ways in life, and I keep taking the test and it's changing, because like day to day I'll value different things. Like, there's a gist of what I do value, and then it's like my desires are constantly shifting.
I feel you on that. Like, even the personality tests that they offer, like one point I was like an ENFJ and then an INFJ, and now I'm an INFP.
I forgot what those even were. I was like, the one that does like, can like be in the middle.
Yeah, the mediator, and you practice altruism, like you do kind acts for other people, and you're here to like sort of in a way be a healer. So
something like that. I don't know.
And it's they have to keep it as generalized as they can, because the world has all kinds of different people, different traits and things like that. But it just goes to show, like, we're always looking for ways to like identify and like,
isn't that strange?
Like,
and I get it. I just lost a cap. I need to put it on, because
you're gonna want a cap for that.
I need a cap for the oil. What were you saying? My air.
I know. And the caffeine mixed with the air, it's like
and
it's like a cat with the
4 a.m. yesterday.
But it's just like our brains want to be able to put things in a box and identify, and I think it's
even
a beautiful
ourselves.
It's a beautiful movement that's going on right now with gender, and being able to say that I'm non-binary. Like, I don't feel like I have to label myself when I'm simply just trying to express. And if you love me for the way I express and the way that I am and who I am, that's all I care about. Like, it is important to have definitions for things, because some things, like, I don't want to go too deep into it.
That's how you maneuver the material realm.
In this 3D world, like, I have my name, you have your name, because we need to be able to set ourselves apart from 7, almost 8 billion other people, you know. But when it's a matter of understanding when you don't have to label things, like even belief systems. Sometimes like it's okay if you just say I'm a spiritual person, you know. You don't have to always be like, oh, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Christian, and that's it, and no one can change it. Like just, I don't know, ease.
It's so strange. Religion's another just topic I'm sure we could go deep about, because religion's supposed to unite people and bring us together spiritually, and yet this feeling of like I'm right, you're wrong, you should do it my way, is totally the opposite feeling.
Yes.
Opposite conflicting energies. And like, why do you continue to bring separation here?
It's like when ego takes control and like runs things, like cults, for example, like not.
But the cult of res I'll be with.
Yes, can I do it? I can kind of do it.
Wait, that's she has a sign. It's the alien hand.
Yeah. I used to never be able to do this.
Really?
I'm becoming more connected to my space.
The alien roots.
Yeah, like even like this could be I want this to be a separate conversation before going too deep into it, but I just want to say, like, when there's like, even in belief systems, there's different branches, there's different denominations for certain belief systems, and it's like, why do these exist if we're just going towards the same goal? Like, if we're supposed to be going towards something that is unifying us, like, who are you to say this is the right way to do it when you're supposed to be like a united front? It should be a united front.
Something just came to me. I would love your 2 cents as well. I feel like it's a game, and some people are meant to play the reverse role. Like there's people who are meant to go up, and there are people who are descending, and then there's people who are completely neutral, and there's like active players that try to like bring it the other way. I really feel that way.
That's so freaking funny that you say that, because I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, and I remember watching your video saying you can't heal everybody, and it's like there's all this talk of like waking people up, and like the fact that there's so many strong-willed people in this world that they're like, I'm gonna die on this hill of what I believe in, even though if it's like suppression, like it can cause suppression to people. It's like it's kind of sad, but also kind of beautiful that there's like a circle of life. No, there's like there's a way that things go. There's a law of like, I don't know what the word is, but there's like just a law of life of like, there's people who
the
are
law
here
of rhythm.
Yes. Well, yes.
I think it's the 7th law.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. It was
I
in this
need
book.
to get into that. I need to like understand. Oh, okay.
The Kybalion. Let me see which law it was. You can keep talking. I'll just
that like just having to make peace with the fact that there's going to be people that look at you like you're a nut, like you're like don't know what you're talking about. Like, we're the right people, and how could you think anything otherwise? Like, you have demons in you. You have like a stronghold connected to you that's stopping you from coming over to our side. Like, it's so much ego. What's the
polarity? There is a law of rhythm, but there's also polarity. So talking about like there's always going to be an opposite.
Yeah, and that's a weird balance thing that comes into play. But it's like, that's the beauty of just living and having your experiences, because that in itself, it creates an attraction. Your field will attract people of like-mindedness. They want to learn from you, and you end up learning from each other, and it's a dance, and it's a matter of having enough self-will and strong will when you're put in situations that could try to compromise your path, or try to talk you out of doing what you feel you are here to do. And I talk about that in one of my videos. It's just like that I uploaded it with my spirit guide meditation. It's like, when you realize that you're here to learn and to take that with you into whatever comes after this, it's going to liberate you in a sense, because you're like, no, like, everyone when they don't understand, it's simply projection. That's it.
Wait, do you have the one that we connected nearby?
I have, was it this one or was it
the lab?
Yeah, it was this one that we got at the farmer's market. Yes. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call and I'm letting her know that I'm on the phone.
Yeah, you're good.
But if you want to go off of that, like, I'd love to hear what you think about that.
Trying to think where we left off. I'm a little bit getting on the spacey side from holding the Dara.
Is that what I have to look forward to? Like, should I meditate with it?
Yeah, here, I'm just sending some labradorite vibes because I really liked where you left off with the guided meditation too. For real, you've been channeling her a lot lately. Like, everything you've been saying to me when you feel compelled to, when I extend my channel to you and I'm like, I'm not sure, I'm confused, I need a friend, I need my sister, you've been able to just pick up on my field and relay the most perfect information. And I swear you have a gift. You have
Don't make me
gift
cry.
that's just been awakened within you.
I told you after that meditation, I'm not ever going to be the same. Like,
we need to talk about the meditation. This is a good segue. This is
all right, you guys. So we're gonna leave that. We're gonna make a list of what we're leaving in the description because I know there's a lot of sources and stuff. But there's a meditation I found on TikTok, and literally, like, people were sobbing and talking about their experiences, and they're like, "Do this. Like, if you feel ready, do this." And I met my main, from what I know, she's like my main spirit guide.
We created a tribe.
Yes.
Somewhat, like,
we could start there. Yes.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I felt compelled to just start creating a group of people, and like all the people I've met thus far through YouTube and who has reached out to me in a friendly manner has brought other people into my life too, who are just very beautiful. And I don't know what it is, if it was my part in healing myself that attracted them, because I was so lonely and isolated for a long time. Like, I had like my friend, I had you, you know, but then I would go home and it's like me and not much.
You and
you know, like, we're social creatures.
We're not the creepers. We're not the creepers.
No, Dan Snyder. We're social creatures, and we want to be interacting, and we want to find people who bounce back with us in a way that uplifts the vibration instead of like bringing us down, making us feel crazy, making us feel unheard, unseen. And finally, like, something's happening. People are coming together, and like, we've been talking, and Summer decided like to share this meditation that she found with us, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it later. And I forgot. I forgot. So I came to my living room, and I brought my yoga mat out of my room, and with the intention, I was like, I'm gonna do a meditation later. And I have this new little mask that I got. Let me show it. Where is it? Anywho, I have this sleep mask that I got, and actually it helps visualize really well because it makes it completely dark. I love it.
Really?
I highly suggest like masking yourself. And so
we've been talking about masks a lot lately, by the way.
Yeah, like, that's a word
different
that's come
ways.
up, like taking your mask off, like, or like, what kind of mask are you going to wear today? Like, what ego do you want to put on to maneuver? Like, that's that Leo energy. And yeah, so I had everything set up like I wanted to meditate, and then there was just something where I was like, I don't feel like it. And I was on YouTube, just sometimes I'll go into funny videos or like drama or like just something lighthearted to get me out of, because conspiracies can be kind of dark, and then shadow work, and then like sometimes I just don't feel like my spiritual practice, which it is highly important, and they have been trying to communicate. So it's, and we'll get into that, but I was watching a video dissecting the show iCarly and talking about how the character Freddie Benson is just like mistreated in the show.
Underappreciated. He produced the whole thing.
I know, he did.
He deserves a good woman.
Yeah, and freaking Carly was just using him because she knew he had a crush on him since 6th grade or whatever. But it was about that. And then out of nowhere, Summer's like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I was like, oh, I'm watching like iCarly, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I was going to ask if you wanted to do meditation, but maybe a different time. And that got me. I was like, I looked back and I saw the mat and I was like, geez, it's a sign. Like, it's a sign. I already said I was going to do it. I'm already halfway done. Like, I brought my stuff out here. Like, I haven't meditated in forever. It's about to be a full moon. Like, we were going to share each other's experiences. Like, we have to do this. We have to.
Yeah.
So that's where I can stop, because like I want you to start with that meditation. You shared it.
Yeah. Well, if you want the details, check out my video on my channel, my spirit guide meditation, and read the description. Well, you don't have to read it because I'll just tell you, like, it gets into details about the meditation if you don't want to.
We don't want to like ruin it.
Yeah, but if you want to just hear about it, you can check it out. But I had never had a direct encounter, like, or a, like, I guess as profound of an encounter as I have had during that, language is weird, during that meditation. Yeah.
Any kind of words.
How is it the hardest? People say it's super hard to learn.
It's like backwards.
No. Yeah.
Linguistics in English are bad. No, I don't want to put that connotation, but
it's just like
I made a video about this. It's gonna go up soon. It's scheduled, but it talks about the linguistics of the word understand and how that's like you're putting yourself under.
Yes.
Right? And then when colonizers came to Jamaica, they created their own language to rebel, created overstand. And now TikTok, they just have neutral, like, stand. I stand you, I stand them.
I like understand.
I like that
I like that. I definitely understood during my meditation what I was like encountering, and I met her, and she, funny enough, like reminded me, like her appearance reminded me of when my hair was super long and curly, and she was a beautiful, like, melanated queen, and she was like, I've been with you since you were born. I didn't want to startle you or scare you or intrude on your space, but I want you to know, like, I'm so proud that you're finally here and you finally met me, because that means like you're unlocking, like you're realizing what you're here for, and you're realizing how powerful you are, and you can reach me anytime, just like hold labradorite. And I had never understood why I was so connected and like
you
attracted.
heard her, like you heard her voice, or like what was the
I was channeling her through whispering. Like, I was whispering the dialogue out. Like, I understood who was me and who was her, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe that I met you, like, you're here, and like, how can I like stay connected to you, because I don't want to lose this. And she said, like, hold on to your labradorite. I'm here anytime. I'm always with you. Like, I'm always around. I've been here since you were brought here, like born into this world. I'm here to like protect you and let you know that like you're safe and you're on to beautiful things and powerful things. And like the willow tree popped up in my vision, and I forgot the exact meaning, but you sent me the meaning of it, and it just made me cry even more.
I was like gonna look it up right now.
How much more can I cry? Like, it shook me up so much, because it's like when you feel that affirmation and you're dealing with such a 3D world that's very like, it can be very dense and very like, this is how you're supposed to navigate through life. You need a 9 to 5. You need the willow tree gives us hope, a sense of belonging and safety. Furthermore, the ability to let go of the pain and suffering, to grow new, strong, and bold. This image of the willow tree is path to stability and hope and healing.
Sorry, I'm shaking.
Yeah, it's okay. I was too. when I read that.
I'm so energized.
I love that. Like, and I never have ever felt before. I've never felt a connection to willow trees. Like, I used to love cherry
Willow
blossom
Smith,
trees.
though, like you feel a big connection
Yes.
to Willow Smith.
Yeah, I love her, and I love her music, and she's doing great things with her platform. Like, she's spreading so much healing through her music. And
That new album.
yes, Rise. And I was like, that's it. Like, I have always had such an internal fight with myself about what the right thing is to follow on a spiritual practice because of my programming, because of like what I was born and raised in. And I have a huge, like, I guess, I don't know, Achilles heel of not wanting to hurt the people I love. And that can definitely play into that, guilt of
it's strange. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
no, you're
strange
fine.
how mental we can get about our own beliefs and think that that would affect somebody else.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it could if you project it, but when you're so programmed or you care and you're really in that number 2 energy, you feel that just because you changed your mind that you're hurting somebody in a sense.
And which it can, because it could be threatening or make them feel like they went wrong or something, especially parents and people who are only doing their best with what they know. And
I wrote a post about that the other day.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like we both have Libra moms.
We
Fun
do.
fact.
The projection aspect.
Yeah,
maybe.
and I wrote my mom's.
We should
She's
both
a 9.
read what we wrote.
Isn't that funny that she's a 9? And
my mom's a life path 1.
Ooh. So when I calculated my life path, not off of this, but off of like the first thing that pops into Google, I got 1. And back in the day, I never resonated really with it. But now that I've become an entrepreneur for my own art and like realizing that my Saturn in Pisces has been starving, it's been like telling me like, this is what is, that's where your Capricorn comes in, girlfriend. Like, finally, like, we've been waiting for you. Yeah, we've been waiting for you to like step into that, because it's like,
here it is.
Your purpose can be as easy as just creating beauty for other people, but I know it's not just that. But in regards to like business and money and things like that, that's like where I feel the most like natural, and like there's no strain on it.
Saturn in your 10th house, or
it's in Pisces, so I don't.
I'm curious. You're a Libra rising, so that would make Pisces in your like
12th.
It's home?
12th house. Is it? You know more about this than I do right now.
Wow. Hold up.
I can read you like what it says.
That's extra dreamy, like to be in dream world and that's your structure. That's lucky. I'm a little bit jelly, but not really. Like,
what's in
I have
what's
my
yours?
own. I have my own lessons to learn. My Saturn's in the 2nd house.
What sign is that?
So it's in Aries as well.
Okay.
So it's right next to my Mercury and my sun and
that explains why you're so strong-willed. You're probably one of the most strong-willed, like.
But it leads to impatience, low-key. Like,
yeah,
I used to act before, like a lot of acting before thinking, or like just inspired action, which is good. But at the same time, like one of the biggest lessons in that is having to slow down, because otherwise you are, you're in the 2nd house. So you're like sabotaging, or what's the word? Like gambling with your security.
That makes sense.
Sense of security.
Yeah.
And so where Saturn is in your chart could also lead to a hold in the energy. So for instance, my securities financially might not be fully met until I'm 30, when Saturn comes back around.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm still like definitely learning a lot about like the charts and transits and like degrees and like
So
off the top of my head like what the houses represent without reading it. But I love time passages, you guys. If
Same.
you're not
Maybe we should
keen
do a
on it,
video with Ariel and Luke or something on
yes,
astrology.
some soul tribe up in here. But
Yeah.
yes,
I wanted to read something about the parents because we were on that, but I also had a question about your spirit guide too.
yeah.
Can I read this first since we were talking about the parents and then go
Go
back
ahead.
into the
We're
spirit guide?
freestyling at this point,
Okay.
girl.
So I made a post on Instagram the other day. It just says, forgive your parents, and not because they don't know any better, not because they are human too. Forgive them because you're an extension of them. The more resentment you carry for your parents, the easier it is to carry that same resentment for yourself. So I went off of that and wrote my own little channeled message there. And
I'm gonna have to go read that because I remember seeing that image, but I need to read your interpretation on it.
I wrote a good chunk.
Shadow work, like opportunities.
Writing is a big one, like in music. That's a big way I channel. I guess it's the 11th like Aquarius type.
I channeled for the first time through music today with what I sent you.
Oh my god, your song made me cry. You saw me cry.
You want to play it?
Yes. Let me read this.
Yeah.
I did want to have. There's so much I want to talk about. It's like more ideas keep coming.
Aquarius.
That Mercury energy too, because the Perla was talking about this. She said, or no, it was Ariel. No, Perla just likes coffee like us. Ariel was saying how coffee triggers the solar plexus, which connects you to Mercury. So like when you drink caffeine, a bunch of that like mercurial energy gets triggered.
That makes so much sense, dude. That's why like when we would hang out and we'd get Starbucks
all the time,
we'd go in your room and like talk forever about everything.
Remember that experience with telepathy where we put our foreheads together and we were like sending colors and
shapes.
Did it work?
All right, y'all, we are back.
We got cut off because my space in my computer.
Yes, we can talk forever. So now you're just part of Girl Chat.
No, Summer's the host.
Yeah, it's stuff that I feel like anyone on this journey can like get something from. So I feel like that's why we feel called to talk about it. Like
for sure.
Because when you talk about numerology, like it ties into, like you were saying, it ties into astrology, it ties into our lives, it ties into like what we have.
That's the cool thing about spirituality. It like interconnects everything.
Yeah. Were you reading something still from your?
I was going to. We were talking about how caffeine triggers the solar plexus, but it's kind of like it's whatever now. I think we went over it.
It does, yeah.
So I wrote, remember, forgiveness is for you, not for them, so you can feel liberated from the past. If we keep looking backwards, we're looking at ghosts and what once was, ignoring the possibility that anything else may exist in front of you. Also, parents are two random humans that knew how to get it on. Putting anyone on a pedestal and expecting them to become your version of what a parent should be can lead to a lot of disappointment if those expectations are not your reality. We can only control what we do after we are taught a certain way. We have the choice to rewrite what we didn't like and the choice to still love people for their shortcomings, no matter the authority they first presented to us. I've been talking a little bit with people on their experiences of childhood, and it reminded me of the anger I used to have for things that were never guaranteed in the first place. And that just, yeah.
That's powerful, and it's so true and valid. And like, I know some of your experiences, just like abrupt changes that involved your parents and things like that. And it's like, it kind of put a shock. It can like put a shock into your system because it's kind of like the bird just being flung out the nest. And you're like, wait,
that's what it was.
I have to fly.
You're talking about when I got kicked out, basically. Yeah, there was no discussion of like, oh, you need to move out when you're 21. Apparently she talked with my brother about that, but then there was like her depression meds mixed in with that. So I honestly think she forgot to like give me the memo, and all of a sudden I come home and my brother has my bed, his collectibles on my shelf. I'm like, okay, like I'm uprooted. Like I gotta figure it out. And I didn't have the double one within me yet as an 11. I was definitely very much like being pushed over, like, oh, I feel bad, like this is my brother brother's space now, and he really wants his own room, and like I would hate to take that back from him after he just got it, and like this is a sign from the universe, and like it works out in the end, like
Yeah,
but it gave me a lot of resentment at first.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah, I was like confused, like how could I just get kicked out of my home? Like that was, we weren't even ready to move in together. It was just
Yeah, but also like I can recall as your friend, like the amount of healing and like just new experiences that have come your way ever since then. Like it's like crazy that like with change there's downsides, but there's also like so much that could be considered like an upside, and
everything
just,
happens for a reason.
yeah, it's just what you make of it and what you do with that. And
you can't take it personally. Like I love my mom and my dad, my brother, my sister, and yeah, I've gotten mad at them before, but I also understand sometimes spirit speaks through people.
yeah,
like,
and
it could have been my guides coming through her to get me to move, because I was so complacent that I wouldn't take action unless I was forced to.
yes, I've been there. Like honestly, I feel like I've been there like up until I feel like I've been like super far from the camera, and like I did my makeup and stuff, and like
I've been all over the place. Like I don't sit still. I'm actually just kind of hanging out on my bed, so I don't have like a back.
There, you guys. Look at my
Don't have a back.
shadow.
Oh, I love it. My Jackie Chana. No, that's not her last name. Her palette. Anna.
Jackie Chana. If Jackie Chan was a woman.
Oh,
Jackie Aina, we love her.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
for butchering her name.
It's fine. It's the coffee. I think we were talking about
we were talking about the meditation.
Yes.
And I had a question for you. It was, why do you think, I don't know if you said your guide's name yet.
Leia.
In this Leia. Okay, I wanted you to be the one to
no worries.
introduce her. Why do you think Leia waited until now during your meditation to approach you or make it known? Or do you think she tried making it known before in ways and you just didn't catch it? Or like why?
I feel like she'd definitely been dropping breadcrumbs for like ever since 2016 when I first started all of like my journey and became interested. I feel like she might have even used you as a way to get to me. Like
Ooh,
I remember what started it was a picture you posted. There was like a lot of symbolism in it, and my Christian programming got really triggered, and I felt
the time
fearful.
I did that publicity stunt, and I like made an Instagram of me ripping out the pages of the Bible.
You did? Wait, what?
Was that I did something like that to make it an art project, and you saw it and you got triggered a little bit. You forgot, huh?
I might, dang, it might have been traumatic, and I suppressed it.
Yeah. I would have kept it, like now in this stream of consciousness that I am, I would have definitely kept it as a reference so I can read it because it's a scripture. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I definitely want to.
No, I had no idea. I don't remember that. So thanks for bringing that up.
That Aquarius rebel, like
that was bold.
I was like,
I feel like I'm getting kind of a memory of it, but like I don't remember seeing it. I remember I might have been told about it from you, but
okay, maybe I
don't know. Like you never know, like how people, like the exact role people play in your life and like what their purpose was at certain times, but I can only guess based off of like what makes sense to me. So I feel like a seed was planted for me to ask about it and be like, what does this mean? And you're like, as above so below, and I'm like, huh? And then the rest like sort of fell.
Wait, what did I say? Sorry, I blanked completely.
No, it's okay. There was like, I remember there was like skeletons and like triangles, and there was like a lot happening in the picture. I don't remember what it was, but it was enough to get me triggered but intrigued, because I was like, I want to understand why I feel this way about this and like what it means to her. And the rest like kind of just got us into that like synergistic, I don't even know if that's a word, but it should be, because it's a pretty word.
Yeah.
Just this relationship of like, I'm open to learning. Like I feel like resistance, but I don't feel like I should feed into that resistance, and I should understand like what this means. Like, why do I feel called to it?
I
That
know
was,
it wasn't this picture, but it was something
it
like
had
this
that
with like an
star.
as above, so below.
Yeah.
And like the above part was like a woman, and the
I
bottom
think
was
so.
like
It was really
death.
colorful. I remember it was really
Oh,
colorful.
okay.
So, but yeah, so there was a lot of like pauses in between where I've gotten to now because of fear, guilt, programming, and feeling sort of lost because I honestly was taking in so much I didn't even get a chance to integrate or process it. I was just like, ooh, crystals, ooh, meditation, ooh, yoga, ooh, symbolism, ooh, angel numbers. Oh my God, oh my God. But like I feel like there was like a crash that took place because I wasn't doing with that information what I was supposed to be doing. And I sort of just like got burnt out on it because I didn't understand my purpose yet. And I didn't understand the direction I was supposed to be going. So I retreated quite a few times back to like my old belief system because that's what I knew. But then I was like, wait, I don't feel that connection. Like I can't force it. You can't force it. And I've spoken to like some family members about it, and it's like you just got to pray about it. You just got to pray it. But it's just like if it's not there, it's not there. And I had to make peace with that and understand like Jesus, he loves me and I love him. Like the relationship we have with each other is always going to be something that I hold in my heart, but it's not going to be in the way that is desired from other people that are around me. And that's okay. But anyway, I feel like she definitely has been dropping breadcrumbs since 2016, and I might have missed a chance to connect with her during that one time I had that meditation I told you about a few months ago when I had a vision of seeing all the people I loved and you were sitting there. Yeah. And then I saw my higher self sitting there, and like she had the space buns that I used to wear when my hair was super long.
Yes.
And I felt
Those
like that
are so
could have,
cute.
thank you. I felt like I could have reached out to her at that point, but I feel like I was so excited to where I kind of snapped myself out of it because I was so excited.
That was like one of your first visions, like that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But I don't think she was trying to get me to have that experience until because I feel like she was very like I'm just gonna sit back and wait until like it's time because she very much had a gentle like warm like I'm so glad that you've reached the point where you feel ready to be like holding hands with me basically through the rest of what you're going to experience. So that's how I feel about that. How about you? Because you do you want to talk about like your experience?
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, by the way, for sharing that meditation. And
You're welcome.
like, I know how sacred of an experience meeting your guides is and how personal it can be. And like, for me, it was interesting because in the meditation, to skip to the point where like you get to the guides, it was so familiar. I went into the meditation unsure if anything was going to happen because it's been a while since I meditated with an intention. Like meditating to just be zen, to be quiet, but not particularly to go anywhere. I've never really done guided meditations before. So, which is crazy because I'm very open in other ways spiritually, and I'm very good at quieting the mind and having nothing going on and just being chill.
Sorry, I just glanced and I see 10:10. Go on.
That's funny. It's about to be 11:11, and then I look up and I'm like, that means it's about to be 11:11 here.
Portal.
Yeah, and we're both checking caffeine.
Hell yeah! It's a full moon. All bets are off, dude.
Yeah, I'm cool staying up till 4 on full moon.
Raving again. Channeling the Matrix without
put sunglasses on again.
Yeah.
I'm holding Merlinite, by the way.
Do you think it has a connection to Merlin the wizard?
Yes.
I think of Merlin as soon as you say that.
I think it's called I think it's also called the alchemist stone or like the avatar stone because it combines like all the elements including lightning in it for some reason. Whoa. I don't remember where I learned that.
That's so cool though.
Yeah, but the experience with where was I? Sorry.
You're saying it's been a while since you have like meditated and you've never done it with
and
intention
I didn't know
like
if
that.
I would. So I'm like seeing this energy, and I'm very able to see color, frequency, and aura.
Mhm.
And I saw this pink energy as it approached me. And I had felt it like 3 weeks ago. I had saw this pink flash, and I talked to it, and it was like wow, I think this is my mom from Andromeda. And like I'm sitting in the meditation, and the same frequency comes to me, and I knew it was like my mom. And like we had these conversations about like what happened to me, and that I was actually lost tragically somehow. And just we had this back and forth, and the communication is like you're talking to yourself almost, but the answer comes from outwards.
Yeah, you know it's not you.
Yeah, you know it's not you when you start becoming really receptive. When you're not, it can, I know, get confusing as to whether like it's a schizophrenic episode or not. But honestly, I believe people with schizophrenia are just open to communicating with spirits and can't differentiate from themselves. So that's, I mean, allegedly.
That's
I'm not a
theory
psychologist.
that I feel like, I don't know, certain people that are probably not ready yet like might experience that, but then also like mental illness is very valid and
Very
very
valid.
real. But
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
you
I'm
on
not
that
trying
theory
to
though.
like take away from anyone who may have it, or it's just a theory of what may
Yeah.
be. And yeah, so we were talking for a while, and I actually asked her to show me one of my memories from like my fondest memory from living in Andromeda. And I just saw this pink energy swimming, and I knew it was me. And the word dancing came into me. And it's crazy because earlier that day we had met Morgan, and Morgan, who I forgot her account name, but we'll also drop her below, channels spirits and dances. And it's light frequencies and a type of light language. And I feel like I'm channeling now as like I talk about it, but she unlocked like a side of dancing, an intuitive flow that just feels so good when you do it. And
Yeah.
I started dancing again that day, and then this happened, and I was like, there's no coincidences. And it's strange because during the meditation, my mom, I felt her retreat, and then this other green energy came in, and what comes in telepathically to me was like Pleiades, and it was a green energy, and it was brother. And a part of me was like, yeah, I want to talk to my mom. And I like pushed the green energy out and was like I respect that you all want to come, but I want to finish up this conversation. And it's like once you open up the portal, like they all want to come and talk to you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's our chance, it's our time.
Yeah. And it's about me now making the space and the quiet time to get receptive. And I think the meditation really opened me up to and confirms that, first of all, that energy that I felt a while ago, it was accurate when I first read it. I didn't have to question that it was my mom. So it just ingrained that being able to like that, to trust. What were you gonna say?
That's reminded me of,
I'm gonna grab the sage. I'm gonna go.
Yes. It just reminded me of like how I felt a few times during the meditation before I got to that point of meeting Leia. And I felt a lot of doubt. I almost felt like I wasn't deserving of meeting her yet. Like, oh no, like, ooh, like this is a big step. Like, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? I remember just feeling that energy. And like in part of the meditation, they guide you down a 10-step staircase, and 9 to 5, which I don't want to work 9 to 5 unless I'm painting all day. 9 to 5, I just felt like
you're actually doing good.
What do you mean I'm doing good?
Like the whole doing your painting thing.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying, but also not trying too hard, because like as soon as you start trying out of black and like doing things out of black, it's not going to happen how you want. But yeah, I just felt like the resistance. And I remember in my video I said, don't feed into that because that's your ego trying to hold on. It's almost like, from what I hear about DMT trips, like you feel like the urge to hold on before you break through. And once you break through, it's like you're never going to be the same after that. And I, in a way, had my own DMT trip, but I didn't ingest anything. I just channeled love, and I channeled my inner knowing. And when you know, like, it's the right thing to do, that's when I felt like it was the right time to do that meditation. I think, to answer your question, I think you asked if, like, how did you know now was the right time? Like, in so many words, you know, when you know, it's a feeling. You feel called and you feel magnetized to whatever that action might be that causes you to have that experience. It's not anything, you're not going to feel resistance, like, generally, but there's always that little, you know, fear, like 3D doubt that's like, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is unknown, like into the unknown up in here. But it's like, the unknown isn't always, it's hardly ever a bad thing. It's just how you interpret it. So, but yes. And also, like, when you, for you, when you found your galactic connection, how did you do that? Because I was going to ask you, like, was it the Reiki that you did, or was it like a music that you heard that like unlocked something?
It's strange because I've been leaving little Easter eggs, like spirit working through me has been leaving Easter eggs. And it's really weird. I made a video about kind of my origins, but I'll start off. One of my roots that I first found was my most recent past life. I did this work when I met Luke, because Luke taught me about channeling, and then we talked about star seeds, and I was like, whoa, I want to find my star seed roots. And I did some pendulum work, and I just was asking, there were a bunch of constellations that would come to me in my head when listening to star seeds, and I'm like, I don't know, like, is it supposed to be just one, or are you supposed to have multiple roots? And I've come to the conclusion, like, your spirit can go to multiple places. It's just like you're logging in your DNA where you've been, and you have to kind of just go back and unlock the memories. And so I wrote down all the constellations I was connected to, and I did pendulum work. Like, have I been on this planet 1 time?
Oh,
2
yeah,
times,
I heard about that. Yeah.
3 times, and just, you have to ask yes or no questions to it. You can't be like a how, what, why. And I'm sure you can if you channel the information through, but I was strictly doing yes or no questions. So I had kind of a list together of my constellations, and then even directly what planet in each constellation specifically, which, if I was male or female in that lifetime. And I just left that information because I didn't get any memories. So I questioned that, like, is that accurate information? The spiritual work that I put so much time and like energy into, I question it. And I find our ego does tend to question
Yeah.
a lot, but I left it at that, and I decided to come back to it 6 months later. That was in, like, around December, January this year that I came back to it. So I really got connected to Lyra. Like, that name just kept coming into my head, Lyra, Lyra, Lyra. And I was like, okay, this is really interesting, because Lyra was my most previous lifetime, according to my list. And I was at this store. And it's funny because I've been wearing this for days after Soul Tribe came together. I'm just like connected to my guides. And when you're finally connected to like-minded people, you guys are like amplifying the energy and like each other's
There's power
powers.
in numbers.
Yes, exactly.
Obviously.
That's why groups are important. That's why it's like there's such things as society, because you're creating a dream. Like, America has its own aura, its own feel, just like France. Like, there's a cultural vibe or whatever. And I was just in this store, and I found pieces of shipwreck glass, and I found like blue and neon and just different things I wanted to use for my magical practice. And I saw this meteorite. Oh, can you see it? It's kind of tiny.
Ooh.
It's called Mu Anyanalasta.
Ooh. That
Yeah.
sounds like a powerful, like, I don't know. It's like a
Right?
different language.
I don't know why I was connected to it until later that day. So I picked it up. I wasn't looking to spend that much money either.
Mm-hmm.
I was like you know when you're just gravitated towards something, you're like, this has to come home with me. Like it's mine.
Yes,
like
I
dang it,
do.
I had. And you're like, but that's the rest of my money.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's whatever.
It's
So,
investing in your spiritual growth.
Exactly. And I've invested probably over $1,000. A month of not having an apartment over my head or something, but it's totally it's so worth it.
Yes.
And you manifest the reciprocal in other ways, through trade, you'll find work, through like random money, like you'll be reciprocated.
Yeah.
So later that night, I decided to look up more about this asteroid. And Muonganalesta specifically is a Lyrid, which means this meteorite comes from Lyra. It's billions of years old.
That's
And I was like,
beautiful.
I got goosebumps on my whole body, that clairvoyant feeling where you're just like, there's something to this. There's more to the story. And so I started looking up more about Lyra. And then my friend Ryan, who I also feel like was in that past life with me, like I feel like my soul tribe that's come through to me, we've had past life connections. There's not an accident why we met each other.
Yeah.
And he very specifically too has a connection with cats. Lyra is a planet slash star system that's connected to cats, connected to birds and avian like, but they're also kind of humanoid. Like if you've read the comic Thundercats too, they're from like Thundara and stuff like that.
I need to read more.
And they're
comics.
superhero cats. I think it was a show too. So that
I
was
just know Catwoman is a queen.
I think I saw something right there for a second. But it's crazy because then a bunch of like cat symbols started coming into my life. Like first, I've had this cat.
I thought that was Orion first.
It looks like him, right? Okay, so check this out. Like I had this kitty, my uncle gave me this when I was a little girl, and I kept her. I love her. I've cleansed her. I've given her Reiki. Like she's held so much of my pain, and I abused her, and like I've healed her, and like I love her. She brings me back to my childhood. This is Kitty. And so I've always had this special connection with cats. I've been raised by cats. I kid you not. We got a cat this year, 2020. See him back there? He's the
Spot
same.
the difference.
Spot the difference. Like, they're the same cat. Like I manifested my stuffed animal cat into a real cat or something. Like that wasn't a coincidence either. And then Ryan, to get back to him, changed his name, or another altar came through to him, another spirit called Aldria the cat. And I'm just like, what's happening? He started meowing at me, like in messages. He would be like, okay, bye, meow. And I'd be like, meow. Okay.
Like it instinctively felt right. Like
it's like those
normal.
Those signs there, I can't ignore. And I know they're very personalized, but I understood them.
Yeah, those for you.
Or I stand those.
Understand.
Like, I understand. I all the stands. Like
you stand.
The resonance of those signs, and it's going to be special for everyone. And it can honestly, for people who aren't into spirituality or have never heard of starseeds, don't have weird memories, it feels like a reach. But to me, like it's a very real experience. And it just kind of, that opened up the connection, was affirming, like, okay, like you need to start contacting them.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of other specific contacts that I've had because this was very recent, you know? So I think that's pretty much all I can share about that, because then I started working with some deities too and really channeling those frequencies. Like I have a lot of Venusian, Venus.
Sorry, Leia was just like,
I feel
love you.
I started feeling the Aphrodite. I was about to say like
That's funny. That was like
really
almost in
connected to
sync.
Aphrodite. It's like crazy because I feel like her energy has been around me my whole life, and at the same time, my stars family as well. Like I know they helped me manifest that radio show because as soon as the show ended, I put my hands up to the air. I was like, "Thank you so much." Like
Oh,
towards the stars. Oh, another experience I had that was confirming to that. I forgot. Like things are starting to pick up. They're like triggered. Alex and I were at the beach at Ocean Beach, and we were like staring at the stars. And I was like, "That one's home." It was flashing. I was like, "That star's home," and it was flashing. I was like, "I think it's Vega," and like I am getting that feeling.
ET phone home.
Yeah, that movie.
You don't like that movie?
I hate it. I used to hate ET, and then it's
Poor
kind
E.T.
of gross. I don't like Steven Spielberg is a little bit of a pedo weirdo. Like he puts
Okay.
sexual innuendos involving children in his movies, and it's just
Ooh.
a little off-putting. Like Drew Barrymore is about to do an interview with him, and I'm like, she must have DID. Like she forgot about all of this.
Compartmentalized.
Like, I don't know.
That's how our brains deal with trauma.
Yeah. Anyway, we were looking at the star, not to like read her, like tell her who she is. Like, I'm not gonna, you know what? I take that back. I can't say if anyone has a mental illness. That's not for me. That was a mistake. I apologize, Drew Barrymore. But the star, like Alex and I were staring at it, and he's like, "Oh, we should check." And then the star moved. It teleported from one end of the sky to the other. Not a satellite. Satellites go drift. No, it went whoop. And he's like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "It teleported." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, put my star out to it. You know those what is it called? Starlight or something?
Starlight, Starbright, first star I see tonight. I wish I might have the wish tonight.
Star Walk.
Oh, it can tell you like what things are, right?
Constellations. Yeah. Let's see what constellations are. Oh, wait. An ad?
Ads are everywhere. Capitalists.
Cepheus! Right behind us.
That's such a pretty name.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if that's behind us or up. So you can move it and it shows you like what constellations are where in the planets, and I'm not sure how accurate it is. China might have made it, but like
we work Vega. With what we got.
It was Vega. I knew.
And that's the name of the planet?
Yeah, that's the constellation that like Lyra, the planet, is in.
Those are all such pretty names.
So yeah, I guess that's the story of how it got confirmed. And now, and especially after that guided meditation, it's like memories kind of get unlocked. So it's a new journey. I'm learning about myself.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I feel like once it's unlocked, it's like, and you're like, oh my goodness, what I've been missing out on it.
Force yourself to go back to, like, you can't go back unless what? I don't know.
Unless you feel called to, but I don't feel like I'd be feeling called to, because like I'm definitely on to something, and like I've made peace with that. Oh, they're having fun. They're
streaming.
Gaming.
He's streaming. Yeah.
It's funny when we're like, because during the call about like numerology, like I heard him and I was like,
you were laughing. I know, that's why you were laughing.
She's trying to stay focused right now. And Alex is like, no way.
He gets hyped.
That's funny. That's me with Kingdom Hearts. I just get so like immersed, and like just words escape my mouth and I'm like,
Can you, if you feel, did you talk caffeine?
I know what you're about to ask. I haven't.
The kingdom part.
You don't even have to say it. Like I'm already here with you.
Yeah, the kingdom hearts aspect of the meditation. Did you?
It was like a
in the video already.
I actually didn't share it besides the video I sent you. But the main like message behind why I brought it up was if anyone's played Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a last I guess it's considered the last level called the final world, where Sora needs to, in order to move on and like complete or get at least to the next level of what he is trying to do. It's okay.
Your story is so beautiful.
Thank you. So is yours. When Sora, I love you too. When Sora he's appeared in this place, it's like nothing but clouds. I can show you a picture of what it looks like, just to like add on to like understanding what I mean. But he's basically told by, I guess, his spirit guide, who is it's a star. It's like a translucent glittery star. You can't move on until you collect all the pieces of yourself. You need to go and collect, it was like around 300 pieces of just different versions of who he was during his adventures. And and it was like zero gravity. He was just like levitating to wherever he needed to go. And the most beautiful music was playing. And I felt like a weird like connection or like a yearning for like the feeling that I felt while playing that level for the first time. I don't know how to explain it other than just like it felt so beautiful and peaceful and inspiring. And like a part of me just was like, this is like a Disney game or video game or whatever, but there's like a lot of profound experiences that could take place in video games. And there's messages that are like hidden in there that people overlook because it's like, whatever, but when I was making the video for free, I just felt that because it felt like I was having my Sora experience. It felt like I had collected just a few more pieces to get to where I need to go to get to the next level. And so this is what he looked like before he was completed. Oh, it's super bright. He's like translucent. He's like clear. Let me see. Oh, and he was talking. Let me see if I can rotate it. Rotate? Yes. Okay. So he was talking to the star right there. Let me see what it says. Oh, and he was talking to the star about its story. Like these were souls. So I guess the rundown of the world is the souls that are there, they're like incomplete and they don't know where to go. Like they had parts of them that are still alive on like Earth, the Earth version of Kingdom Hearts, and he was incomplete when he arrived, and he had the ability to go and find more pieces of himself that these didn't, because he has like a special heart that he's able to like hold space for other people until they find the rest of themselves. Like that's literally Sora's like arc. Like he is like the chosen one. He's like the Keyblade wielder. And he unlocks portals to different worlds and he helps people in these worlds.
Through his heart.
Yeah. His heart like needs to be activated for him to be able to get to these places.
That's so profound.
Yeah, he used the power of waking, which is what it's called, to find like his like soulmate Kyrie. And he's still on the journey. Yeah, currently he's still on the journey.
Like, oh wow.
And yeah, it was let me show you. Well, I guess this is what the world looks like. It looks like heaven. Like it's just reflections all around. It's like infinite.
Wow.
But I felt like there was somewhere else I was gonna go.
Yeah, we were connecting that with Leia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I felt like for my experience, my meditation. I felt like I was like Sora and I was gathering pieces that helped me get to my next level, and Leia is like the guide that was talking to him, but she's definitely a lot more powerful than those characters, because those were like incomplete and they didn't know which way to turn, but they still had for some reason like the inner wisdom to direct Sora to where he needed to go. So that was basically it. But also, like, yes, Kingdom Hearts, it's like such a beautiful story. Like when you get aside, like, Hyuk, Donald, and Goofy are like by Sora's side to help him fight the Heartless.
Yeah. What do you told me to do? And I'll fucking do it again. If you haven't seen Goofy Goes to Trial,
Yeah, Goofy's Trial or something like that. He's like a freaking serial killer. Like, Goofy.
Oh,
No wonder you're so happy.
I did it. Oh, yeah.
I love murder. He's like, so you're just gonna admit that you did it? Like, Mickey's over here and he's paying for your lawyer.
I'm so happy for you in my life. You show me the funniest things.
I show you the way. You show me the way. We show
You
each
know
other
the
the
way.
way.
You are the real queen.
But yeah, like, I guess that's all I want to share for now about my experience. We'll see where we go from here.
Do you feel like you relate? Well, do you feel like your connection and maybe obsession with Kingdom Hearts? Obsessions are good. No negative connotation at all. Like it's something. It's a story you're enthralled with. But why? Do you feel relation to the character because of the experience you knew you were gonna have? Maybe your spirit knew.
Well, like to start off, like it's very sentimental to me just because of my childhood, and my dad introduced me to that game, and so like I feel connected to him when I play that game because he introduced me to Kingdom Hearts 2, which is, I guess, the storyline of Kingdom Hearts 2. Sora has this counterpart, which is his nobody, Roxas, who wouldn't exist if Sora didn't exist, who's like just, he's a part of him, and he found Roxas in this alternate world. And well, no, Roxas found him. He was asleep. He was in like a, like, I guess a coma, because his memories needed to come back to him because he lost a big amount of his memories when he was on a mission to help one of his friends. And in that story, Roxas comes back because Sora had enough memories to become whole again with Roxas. But Roxas was sad because he couldn't live out his own individual life because he needs Sora to be whole. And so after that, Sora just goes on all these missions, unlocking these worlds, helping, you know, the Disney characters like complete their chapter that they needed to complete in order for him to get to his final battle. And after he completes the battle, he's reunited in paradise with his best friends. And I just think that that's such a beautiful story. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 follows that. I haven't played it in a while, but it follows that because there's like this final showdown with Xehanort. And he continues these missions and he feels even more like closer to Roxas, and eventually Roxas becomes his own person, and he is able, there's enough of his own will and memories and heart with the power of his friends, his two other best friends. They become one with each other and they all are able to live out their own lives. And his other friends were nobodies too, like they were not supposed to exist, but they do. And I just find it so compelling and beautiful because it's like, in the kind of world that we're in, like the innocence and beauty of a story like that, of just like your friends are your power, like that's the message. Like my friends and my community is my power, like my tribe, they give me the strength that I need to accomplish things. And you know, there's like, I don't know, like we can do things if we put our mind to it on our own, but you're just stronger when you have your tribe, you know. And it's funny now saying that because like where I'm at now, I wasn't at last week. And it's like now there's like a new connection that I've just made with the game. So I'm thank you for asking me that. Yeah. Like there's certain things that resonate for certain reasons, like with the Sims. Like my only two games I love are Sims and Kingdom Hearts, and Sims give me an outlet to channel my creativity. But then like when you look at it, because we were talking about that the other day.
Can I say one thing about Kingdom Hearts? And then we can go ham on the Sims, because I do want to have a conversation about the Sims.